Hello and welcome to the continuation of the discussion for Unit 5, which is the Introduction to Software Development Kits. So let's continue discussing uh, the topic of Cross-Platform Development Kit. So may introduction na kita sa Cross-Platform Development Kits. Now let's proceed to the requirement. So how do we, ano yung hardware and software nga required in order to start developing cross-platform applications or using these types of development kits. So ang cross-platform development for mobile users requires to have Xcode in order to create, build, run, and then test iOS. So although this code this code is used for both Android and then iOS applications, but gina-require mangyapon to have Xcode. So si Xcode gani, so ginagamit siya in order to build in order to build your application to the para ma-run siya sa sa iOS nga devices. And also siya na ang may mga codes kada sometimes kag ginakuti on the iOS side, may ginakuti kada sa Android side kesaan. But for si Android side, so although hindi na siya necessary, but I advise you to install Android Studio. Kay si Android Studio, so gina-install yan na ang mga necessary tools and then software for you to create your applications. So kung di ka na magamit sa Android Studio, so ngitaan mo na ang different components by yourself. So ngitaan mo na si software ang SDK Manager, di ba? Makitaan mo to si Android Virtual Device Manager. So instead ng ngitaan mo, so download mo na lang directly si Android Studio. Then, si Android Studio na ang ma-install sa important nga applications. And for iOS, mag-develop ko gito dapat araagid sa macOS nga device. So kung Android applications lang, so you can install the SDKs required on a Windows nga unit or a Linux nga unit. And you can also create Android applications on the macOS device. So for macOS, di ba, kung macOS user ka, so most likely, duwagid ka platform sa mobile mo. So let's move on to the SDKs or software development kits that are available. Ang output niya is for cross-platform. So we have first is the Xamarin. So the Xamarin was developed niya siya driven by C# programming language. So as base nyo sa inyong previous classes, if may programming languages kamo nga na-learn, if na-learn nyo gali ang C# nga programming language, so you will know that C# niya siya is owned niya siya by Microsoft. So therefore, si Xamarin is ging-own niya siya by Microsoft. So amo na kay gina-heavy utilize ang C# nga programming language. So ang first product yun, our first nga tool yung pagwa sang Xamarin was the Xamarin.Mac, where mono-develop integrated development environment. So ang IDE nila is mono-develop, so which allows developers to build C# applications for Apple's Mac OS. Muna nag-enable get sa first nga iOS nga application. So however, most developers, so may problems ni si Xamarin is that problem na is most developers feel negative on using the Xamarin. So may problems sila such as difficult to use overall. So doon na awatan sila sa pag-utilize sang Xamarin. So although ang iyang output is on both platforms, Android, iOS, but the way they code, the way they create the application is hassle ni siya. So dugang ni siya time for the developers to create. So Microsoft will deprecate the Xamarin in order to give way to MAUI. So this is the multi-form app user interface. So doon na siya. subong si Xamarin is ano siya, deprecated. So, wala na ginagamit. Kaya maybe may newer product naging push si Microsoft. But overall, ang popularity yan is not really popular lang siya sa una. At the time it was released, so mga 2015, 2016, naging popular na siya. Kaya doon mo lang ang better option gid when it comes to developing cross-platform applications. So may ara kita so sa IDE, so ara ta mo na develop, diba? And then we also have the Visual Studio 2019. So this is another IDE that you can use in order to develop these applications or your mobile applications. So sa February 2013, so naganan ang Xamarin 2.0 along with two main components of Xamarin Studio, so which is a rebranding of the mono-develop IDE. So amo ning update Xamarin Studio. So ang si Xamarin Studio, so mayroon siya sang demo versions, di ba, for developers to check. So ma-check na ng basic functionalities and other functionalities are unlocked by buying. So doging gate naging stop na sa Microsoft to fully utilize the functionalities of Xamarin or the Xamarin Studio. So Xamarin Studio was integrated na siya on to Visual Studio on 2016. Then Visual Studio for Mac is the program for Mac users. So doon na-deprecate man to ang Xamarin Studio. So integrate na lang nila sa current lang IDE, so which is the Visual Studio. So amo ni siya ang IDE for Visual Studio. So may mga differences kamo nga makita such as the files, the file explorer ben. So they are located na siya on the right side. So for Android Studio and then the Xcode, ang ilan na nga file explorer is located on the left side. Para sa codes, 'di ba, ang UI pwede niya na malantaw. So here we have the architecture ni siya. Ining architecture kung paano ni siya ga-translate ang the components for Xamarin to the components of your native application. So Java, either Java application or Java nga codes gali or the Swift nga application. So native, so they are closest to the components, other components, or to the operating system. So already, so manotice ta. So this one is the OS mismo. And then here we have the Android runtime or the native runtime and then the Java Android APIs. So do may nota. So within our application, so diri ang aton nga design, ang user interface, di ba? Mga buttons ta, components. Then UI definition ta, so ang structure sang inyong mobile application. So with that, so maagi pa na ang codes, di ba? Maagi pa na dire nga components. Kay si Xamarin ni siya, kay C#, di ba? So .NET APIs and si Mono Runtime. So si Mono Runtime ang ga-translate na siya sang APIs or the siya ang functions directly from the operating system. Then gina-translate sa C# nga APIs. And also makanon siya if the user wants to use the Bluetooth na hardware or the nga APIs nga related sa Android mismo or Java. So si Net APIs, so directly na siya ma-communicate sa component nga Java and Android APIs. Kaya mo notice sa mga architecture sa cross-platform development kits is may bridge na silang component. Kay aton nga UI, dire is siya C# code na. So this bridge will translate those codes or functions from the OS or the APIs nga native through the compatible nga API. So in this case, ang compatible for C Sharps. So this is the bridge. Amo na siya nga translate. Bridge. Bridge. So kung retrieving functionalities from the OS or the native na codes, so may pa na siya, may translation pa na siya nga garan. So therefore, ang time na siya for your application to interact, di ba, kung mahatag sang result is sometimes slow. Tamo na ang amo gini sa structure sang cross-platform development kits kay may mga bridges gina sila. Okay, so that is for Xamarin. So next is we'll proceed to React Native. Okay, so for React Native, so this is a SDK that was created by Facebook. So I think si Facebook kay mostly ang ilan ng services is web application. Diba? Ang developers na nila kay web developers. So sila ginang nagpopularize ang React nga SDK. So that SDK is used na siya for using or creating web applications. So naisip man nila to create mobile applications. So amo naging establish nila ang React Native. So for React Native, so this enables developers, web developers, diba, to write codes in JavaScript, so which then is compiled, diba, and translated into native code. So native code like Android, iOS. So made alongside with React.js. So this is a JavaScript framework used for developing websites. So based ni sila sa React.js nga website. So ging develop nila para mag-compatible sa mobile application development. So therefore, ang output na is the React Native. So this was available on March 2015 and was open sourced for iOS mobile application development. So on the same year, on September, the Android version was released. So nag-amat-amat sila iubra available ang applications to the software development community. So muna ang big or ang main selling point sang React Native is they let web developers, di ba, with the experience on React, di ba, with the experience on JavaScript, on the CSS styling, with the use of tags like, di ba, sa HTML gagamit na sang HTML tags, body, p, b. So ano na ang pag-create sang design is with the use of tags. So muna ang i-integrate nila with React Native so that ang web developers will not have a hard time creating mobile applications. So hindi na sila mag-learn sa new language. So some of the so with this say React Native, so pwede na maobra with the use of Expo. So si Expo ni siya is tool ni siya, all-in-one tool. So this was built around React Native to help start an app quickly. So ma-download ka lang na sa Expo, then si Expo lang na ang mag-guide sa imo on creating application. Or mabulig yun na sa imo. So, mag-create sa application, mag-run sang application. So gagamit na sila sang consist of other software components, di ba? So amo nang garan, so sila nang ga-check if application is running, sila nang ga-build sa inyong application. So si Expo, so this provides a set of tools that simplify the development and testing of React Native apps and arms you with the components of the user interface and services that are usually available in third-party React Native components. So muna siya to comprise of tools. So ang target or ang goal ni Expo is to enable users to quickly establish the environment for creating React Native applications. sumasapos pagid. However, may mga disadvantage man na siya, which I'll talk after this. So first, ang advantage sang Expo is this is fast and simple project installation. So ma-install mo na siya on the website nila, install mo na siya sa command line interface. So i-follow mo man na instructions, and after that, okay na. So for the client application, so installed ni siya from the store. So installed ni siya on your mobile device. Kay dira mo na test. So it can this client application, so do siya nang manage on your projects, on your applications that you're trying to create, to develop. So it can open projects during development without builds via Xcode or Android Studio. And then over the air updates when updating the app. So when we say over the air, so wala na siya gaagi sa ang updates kani wala na siya gaagi sa App Store or sa Google sa Play Store. Diba usually when developers update their applications, so ma-notify na sa sa inyong smartphones, diba? Sa inyong Google Play mambal na nga these applications needs update. So i-download mo pa ng update. Then after that, install yan. So for the over-the-air updates, so na siya. The update is done when the user opens the application. So pag open sa application, so may time pa na siya, fraction of a time that downloads the updates. Diba? So i-download yung update, and then once ma-download ang update, so i-plastayan na ang codes, and then i-open ang application or i-run ang application. Okay, so let's move on to the disadvantages. So ang number one is native modules can be added, written in Objective-C, Swift, Java, or Kotlin. So meaning, ang native module, so if you have may ara ka be functionalities that requires you to access a specific API na wala pa be available na sa current version sa React Native. So hindi na siya pwede kay gina-prevent ka na sa Expo to to update or to manage this the native side of your application. And then next, so kaya mo nagali to hindi tagid free, diba, to update. Therefore, wala sang freedom. So in terms of using libraries and versions. Mambalta, ang Expo is ang React Native version siya is not really up to date. And then within that versions, so limited lang nga libraries and limited lang nga components ang pwede ta ma-access. So limited na siya when we use Expo. So we can only use their SDKs and packages written in JavaScript that don't require linking. So linking, it means i-link ta ang aton nga React Native code to the native application or to the native nga side. So this example ni siya sa web browser nga application for Expo. So garan ni siya. Okay, so this is the website gali. So in the website, so pwede na kamo ka test sang codes nyo. So sample codes nyo. So pwede nyo na siya i-test, pwede nyo siya modify and then run. So automatically ang output is aranda sa sa website nila. So with that Expo, diba? So that is one way of creating React Native is using Expo. But also we can achieve the freedom. We can use we have access to those native nga functions or API if we try the detached version. So basically, so detached version siya, so wala siya ging restrict sang sang Expo. So in this case, ang may freedom na siya when we're creating our React Native applications. And then we have access to vast libraries. These libraries are being maintained and then created by the community. So, sila na ang expert, di ba? Expert to create their own packages or their own libraries to access the different components like Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi, your NFC, etc. And then ang for the detached version, so usually ang ginagamit na nila is gano lang, text editor lang. Sa text editor lang na siya manage sa application. And the IDEs nga ginagamit for React Native development is the Visual Studio Code. So, familiar naman ka mo dire. So, if you have experience on developing applications. So, this is an example ni siya of the React Native. Okay, so, makita nyo do, siya, kay JavaScript ni siya nga, nga codes. So, do maybe familiar na ka mo. Okay, so let's discuss shortly the architecture of the React Native na framework. So here, we have the component, so the application, your JavaScript codes, the UI design, the functionalities. So may ara siya sang bridge. So this bridge will translate those JavaScript codes into the platform or the native application codes. Ba? And after that, so may different sa native may different components like for the platform components, and then the services aton hardware components nga try access. Mo notice nyo, do same man to sa same sa Marine is may bridge siya. May bridge siya gyapon nga translate sang functions, sang JavaScript functions into native functions. So do may delay na siya. Sometimes slight delay on your interaction with the application, or maybe sometimes may dagko na siya nga delays. So here we have the popular applications created via React Native. So we have Facebook. Si Facebook is React Native ni siya. So si Facebook apps, diba? Si Instagram kay part mo na siya sa Facebook. Si Walmart, and then si Bloomberg. Okay, so let's move on to the last na cross-platform development kit introduce ko sa video lecture, so which is the Flutter. So do more on later ni siya nga SDK nga gi-introduce. So this was introduced by Google ni siya on 2018. So although si Google may Android ni siya nga application, so they've decided to create their own cross-platform nga development kit. So ang purpose yan or ang goal ni Google is to focus on developing user interfaces with fast animation and then great performance. Okay, so develops UI by the use of widget trees. So yung widget trees siya ang pag-create sang user interface. So do more on parent-child na class nga structure. So si Flutter applications are written ni siya in the Dart programming language and make use of many of the language's more advanced features. And then here we have the major components ng Flutter. So mayroon siya sang Dart platforms, ang code, ang iyang coding, ang programming language siya. Then we have the Flutter engine, the foundation library, and then design specific widgets. So for creating Flutter, so ang tools na ginagamit especially for coding or the IDEs is Visual Studio. So for other text editors nga gusto nyo, maybe Sublime Text or So and then surprisingly si Android Studio is na siya. Ginasupport niya man ang Flutter nga projects. Okay? Under na siya sa Google . So this is an example ni siya sang aton nga Flutter application. So if familiar ka mo, or if maybe familiar ka mo sa Java application, so those similar lang ang pag-ubra. So ang ginambal nila nga trees by widget trees, this is a widget, diba? And then inside of that, so this is another widget. So this is a theme widget ni siya. then ang properties. Okay, so let's check na ang architecture sa Flutter. So compared ni siya sa React Native, 'di ba, sa Xamarin. So wala na siya sang bridge nga component. So may ta native code, 'di ba? And then may ta sang platform channel. So muna ni ang ga-act as bridge. But compared to sa React Native, so may ara sang bridge nga dako-dako. So may separate ni siya nga components that interact with different nga components on the native side. So may di widgets, 'di ba? Widgets, and then the rendering of functionalities. So ginakuha yan na from the native side nga canvases or the events man or animations that are on the native side. And then for the platform channels, so gina-access niya na directly ang services like the Bluetooth nga component, the GPS, the audio, etc. So ara na siya automatically ginakuha sang platform channel. So these are the popular applications that are created using Flutter. So not really damo, pero I think subong kay mas damo pa ni siya. So first is we have the Google Ads and the Alibaba. So si Alibaba kay this is the siya the online na online na shopping nga application, and you have the music tutor. Okay, so for the last slide, so we'll try to compare the advantages and then the disadvantages of native applications and then the cross-platform applications. So let's start first on the advantages of native applications. So mayroon siya high performance, robust functionality, then seamless user experience. So mga bata ni kay mostly ba ang codes nila kay ga-interact na mismo sa ga-interact na sa native nga side mismo. So ang codes nila si Java ga-interact na siya sa sa platform nga codes, sa API nga codes. Kamo na siya mga bata nga mas namin performance siya, robust ang functionality, so hindi siya prone sa errors, diba? So when trying to communicate with the APIs, then seamless ang user experience. Then ang advantages naman for cross-platform development is short ang development time. So meaning one code will run on will enable to run on both Android and then iOS platforms. So that means one code base for both platforms. So only one lang. So also for short development time. So kaya na so hindi ka na obra sang code for Android and then obra code for iOS. And then next is we have the easy maintenance and updates. Kaya to related man na siya sa one code base. So samtang gin-update mo na siya. So madala man to ang fixes for Android and then iOS. Okay, so ang disadvantage ni sa native app is that it takes too long to code. So the opposite na siya sa cross-platform. Si cross-platform, advantage siya kaya dasig na matapos. So for native application, so if you're trying to create both Android and iOS, so that will take you times 2 the effort. So ma-hire ka pa na sang iOS developer, ma-hire ka pa na sang Android developer that specializes in native application development. Then ang ilang code base, since separate man ang code base nila for each platform. So here, ang disadvantage naman sa cross-platform application, so we have slower performance, diba? Kay gamit patas ang bridge, diba? So amo to sa Xamarin kag sa React Native. So may bridge na sila nga ga-interpret sa JavaScript or Xamarin nga codes or C# nga codes into the native nga platform codes. Then here also, ang large APK or large ang APA file. So IPA sa maning installer for our iOS. So large na siya kay gin-include niya pa ang libraries for the JavaScript. Yung include the JavaScript or the Xamarin mo na siya or for Flutter is the Dart. And then limited support for third-party library. So although limited siya, kay compared ta sa sa library support sa native nga application, so mas damo gini. Mas damo gano mas damo ga develop sa native application. Okay, so that's it for the introduction to software development kits. Okay, so thank you for watching and have a great day.